Hi guys, so I'm going to be doing a DIY bronzer, and it's very easy to make it home by yourself instead of wasting money and buying it. So what you need is you need a bowl, it doesn't matter what size, to mix it in. And then you're going to need a spoon, and then you're going to need rubbing alcohol, any kind of cocoa, it doesn't really matter, unsweetened or sweetened, it don't matter, and then ground cinnamon. And then you're going to need a little plastic bowl that you can put in the freezer for when you're done, and this is what you put it in. And then you're going to need a paper towel. So first what you're going to do is you're going to get your cocoa, and in the mixing bowl, you're going to grab 2 scoops, 1, 2. You're going to need 2 scoops of cocoa. And then you're going to need ground cinnamon. You don't use a lot of ground cinnamon, but just like that. And then you're going to stir that together a little, because the cinnamon just gives it like a glow. And then after that, you grab your rubbing alcohol. You don't put a lot of this in, and then you just, about that much will be good. And you stir all of that together. You stir it till it gets like chunky. And you're going to need a little bit more because it's not chunky all the way. Just a little bit though. You don't put a lot of it in because rubbing alcohol don't really work good with your face. They don't get along. And so that should be good right there. And then I put a little bit too much in, and then and all that should make about 2 scoops. So you get one scoop, and you put it in your bowl. Sorry about that. And then get the other scoop. And you put that in there as well. And then after that, just pat it down a little. Kind of looks like chocolate, but not really. And then you're gonna grab your paper towel, and you're gonna fold it up. And then I have a little container, so I gotta fold it up twice. And you just put it in there, and you just push it down to try to get the alcohol out. You can push it down with your fingers, or you can push it out with a spoon. You just gotta make it like flat. So it'd be better to push it down with a spoon so it's flat down. And that's all the alcohol. And then fold it up again if you want. And do it one more time. because it still looks the same a little. And just keep pushing it down, and it should be flat. So it's not flat all the way, but it's more rubbing alcohol. Then you just set that off to the side, and then you need to just make it flat. You can put this in any container that you want, but you're going to need a container. You don't just put it in a bowl. And after that, put the lid on. And then you're going to put it in your freezer for about, whoa. So you're going to put it in your freezer for about 2 hours overnight. So, and that should be good. That was my uncle. So. Hey, be quiet. And then you just put it in there, like that. So 2 hours or overnight should be good. And I'll make another video of me trying it on. So, and if you want just the powder, not like, I don't know, not like the kind that I made. If you want just the powder, then you are going to need you're just going to need the cocoa and the ground cinnamon. So the cocoa, you just get literally just a little bit, because this is just a small container. Put it in any container that you want again, and then, or as much as you want, but so then you just drop it in there. Hang on. Just and then you take the ground cinnamon and you put a little bit in there, just like you put a little bit of the cocoa. Again, because the ground cinnamon gives it a glow. So that's how you make the powder. And you want to mix that a little. Could close up your container and shake it so it will mix. And then the powder will look like cocoa, obviously, but there's the powder. So my next video, I will try on and see if this stuff works. So let's hope it does. So look out for my next video so you can see what it's gonna look like and see if it works. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and comment. Thanks. Bye. Watch my videos.